thought I'd start the video with this because there's going to be a new addition to the family. Unexpected new addition, but a very welcome new addition. So I thought I would just show you how I go about setting up an enclosure, and you know, for a lot of people they've not done it before, so that's why I thought today I would give you a bit of a rundown on how I will set this one up. And no, I'm not dressed. It's Sunday morning and very rarely am I dressed at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. It's the only morning really, apart from Saturday mornings, that I can get to hang a little bit longer in my PJs. So I'm going to set you up here because I am getting there in terms of what I'm doing, and you can see me lift and strain and do all those things that I know I'm probably going to look dorky, useless doing this on my own, but it's the way it is. Am I on it? Yeah, I am. I think. Okay. I see I'm blind. Looking to there is okay, you can see it. So this of course is just for the beginning for this, and I will tell you it's a little girl, and I know it's a girl, so this is just for her for now because she won't stay in it forever. And this was actually going to be a step up for a pani because she's going to go into a little bit bigger tub than what she's actually in now. But this would have been a sort of a stepping stone for her before she would go into her permanent home, which I have the bigger tank down in my room for her or Maya. You know, I might swap them out and a pani gets Maya's, because Maya's is a little bit smaller tank, but a pani would live the rest of her life in it, or whether I put a pani in the brand new one, which is bigger. But this one is just a stepping stone for this other girl who is going to need a big enclosure. So all I'm going to do at this particular point is clean it out with F10, give it a good spray over, wipe it all out, and then I'll be starting what a lot of people would consider the fun part, which is decorating, you know, putting in, and I haven't really got that far in my head, but yeah, I'll think about it as I go. So I'll switch her off because this is the boring part, cleaning it. Everybody knows to give everything a very good clean, sterilising it, which F10 is brilliant for that, guys, so it makes it so easy to do as well. So I have this piece of wood, and I got it a little bit cheaper because one of these is you know, breaking off, so I'm going to actually take that piece off. Now of course that doesn't fit, it's poking out the top here, but because she basks I wanted to be able to get here, because this will be where her light is, or I may do it the other side because this is kind of Tessa's cooler side. I don't think the heat will bother her too much up here, so I think that will be right for now. I can always swap it over anyway if I feel Tessa's is getting too much warmth through here, though it's winter so I don't think it's going to bother her. So I am going to have to cut this down for her. So basically I will mark where I'm going to chop off, and that always bothers me. Is this okay to chop here? So I'll put a mark here, and you know, this piece is right up and should probably go up there, but I will leave this coming out with this little knob on it, because she'll probably head to there. So I'll chop that. And so guys, that is as far as I've got, because I have to head off a little bit earlier before I actually pick her up and grab a little hide for her to have, of course. Not that Tessa uses hers, so I'm kind of thinking, well, Tess, you don't use yours, sweetheart. Well, she does actually. She'll poop on top of it, but she won't actually go into it. So I may take hers out for now, give it a good clean, and put it in for this little girl to see whether she actually wants to have a hide herself. So I've put a reasonably sort of shallow water dish, just a ceramic water dish for her, which is big enough. And she's not a little girl, she's long and slim. Am I giving away anything? And no, she's not a Bradley. So she's got this, which I've managed to chop down so the lid fits on. I've just starting to set up her sensor and thermostat. She's got some greenery, and you know, I may even cover in these sides, as I do with my little ones, as to give them that little bit of extra security when they first start getting settled in. And I've actually never taken Jesse's off, so you know, he still has the sides covered in for him, and of course so does Tessa. So need probably some paper on the sides, which I will organise to do. And then she feels like she's pretty much in one great big hide anyway, because it's only the front that is actually open for her. So I'm going to find some paper, actually. Not very pretty, of course. It's going to be wrapping paper, but it will do, because I don't want to be going to 50 different shops to get what I need today. So I'm going to get this thermostat set, cover in the sides, get the lid on, get the heat going, and then I'll tune you back in. Well guys, I've finally, oh, and the light just popped on for you. That was convenient. So I've finally finished this off. Actually, I'll shine Tessa's over a little bit so you can actually see it a bit better, I hope. So she has a water bowl, which is over here on the cooler side. I pinched Tessa's hide because Tessa never ever used it. I'm hoping that up there gives her enough platform to get up and actually bask up under the heat light, and you know, some greenery in there for her, so she's got space on the floor to get around, and she can get up high, she can hide, she's got her water. So while I was doing this, I've connected a thermostat, which is a dimming thermostat. I did the pulse proportional. I don't like it because it flicks the light on and off, and I'm going to be using that for her, oh, not for this girl, but for the heat panels, because they're great for those. So I thought, while I'm doing it, what I would actually do is add some more areas for Tessa to bask, because she really only had this one bit of stick which she would go up on when she would have a full belly, of course. Otherwise she spends her time on the hammock, which is fine. So I've just added some more sticks for her, so I'm going to see how she goes with a bit more area to climb on. While I've got the camera, my girl Lily, she actually shed last night, so she's looking beautiful. Not that she never does not look beautiful. So I'm thinking she'll be hungry, you know, later today, or I might just hold off and give her a feed tomorrow. So, and of course Jesse's always looking for something to eat, aren't you? And you know, he had 2 small rats last feed, so he can wait 10 days, this fellow, even 14 days. He's just a good eater, Jesse. Maya, well, yeah, she's just having a nap because she's very active overnight. So this is her time where she has her sleeping time. So guys, we'll be moving on to me introducing my new girl, and I'm what's the word? I can't wait to go and get her, but it's a couple of hours away. So bye for now. Well, hi, I'm back, dressed completely other day, because I could have done a quick little video of this new girl when I brought her home on that day, but I wanted to wait until she was settled in and eating, of course, before I decided to do a little bit longer video with her. I mean, already this video is 12 minutes long, guys, so I wanted to sort of show you how I set up, and I didn't really explain, you know, I'm using aspen as a substrate. I do like the aspen for my guys. It's just my preference. It doesn't mean it's the best and it's what you should use. We all like different things, but the basic setup is what I would like for her, because I think it's something that she would like, and I'll try not to use these hands so much. But yeah, so it's another day, a week later. Now also I got her home. Well, when I went to get her, I went, oh, I think the enclosure is going to be a bit big for her to begin with. And why I did the enclosure and was going to put her in it was because I went by her sibling, who believe and is a male from what I've been told. They're not quite sure, but this guy is way bigger than my girl. So I don't know whether it's how she's been fed or not as to why she's so much smaller than him. But I got her home and went, there is no way I can put her in this great big enclosure. So I ended up devising this tub setup inside the big enclosure for her, which I'll briefly show you so you can see what I've done. And all I've done is stuck a heat cord up the one end for her, a couple of little hides, a little water dish. It won't take long for her to be out of that, and I will put her into that bigger enclosure, but I just wanted her to settle. I want to get a couple of feeds into her, and then I'll put her into the bigger enclosure, and I hope that she'll be okay with it. So I'll take you over with me. I'm not going to show you her right yet, but you're going to see where she's actually living right now. So basically, guys, and I'm pretty sure you'll be able to see because it's all lit up in it and this doesn't fall, but that's just her little tub that she's living in, and it's much better for her because, as you'll see, she's a tiny little dot really. So I'll be getting her out for you to take a look at. Also want to let you know that her name is Amaya, which I have chosen for her. Actually, my daughter picked it out for Tessa, and I decided not to use it, but I am using it now. So back very, very soon. Okay. Can you tell from this what she is? As you can see, she hasn't got her striping yet, but she will. This is what I mean. Her sibling was way bigger. But this is Amaya. And yes, Amaya is an albino Darwin Carpet Python. But she's a tricolour. And all that actually means is that she will have the iridescent yellow, then the darker yellow, and the white banding. So that's what tricolours are. Whereas the other albinos are just the iridescent yellow and white. So she is a tricolour. She is currently 9 months old. Would you believe she is the same age as Elune and nowhere near the size of Elune? Nowhere near the size of her brother. And yes, she's been sexed and she is a female. So of course she is going to get bigger, and hopefully a couple of more sheds and her banding, her striping will start to come out. Her brother is absolutely beautiful, and I'm sure that little Amaya is going to be exactly the same. So guys, I said in my how many snakes is too many snakes basically, and do you know what I said? 8, because I had to say 8 because I want to get my rough scale, and I still will be. That is not off the list, but now it's going to be 9. So because this little girl came along and she was going to be a keeper, and so I wasn't able to get one because all of the babies were gone and spoken for. But he decided that I could take her, so that's wonderful. Wonderful for me, and of course as you know, she will have an amazing home. Now I'm going to turn that light a little bit on my arm, just so that we're not washing the colour, or I'll turn one globe off maybe, because that lighting does tend to wash these guys out, even though you can actually see them, but it does wash the colour out. And right now she's, you know, creamy, but she's got the red in her. Now she's eating, which is great, and when I tried her the first time to get her to eat, she wasn't interested. She was more fearful than anything, so hence why I flipped her into the smaller tub, and that was within a few days. So of course then I waited a few days and offered her a meal, and she took it, and she was inside the hide, and the little head came out, she grabbed, and she went back into a hide and ate. So I'm going to give her another feed in this little tub, and then I will let it go into the bigger area. I'll just leave the lid off, and if she wants to go in there she can. If not, she can go up high and she can bask, and because Darwins do like off the ground very much so. They like to be able to get up. She's currently spending time down the back of her hide in the warm area, but she's nice and squished in. So this is Amaya, and all that means for me is I've just bought all these enclosures to rearrange, and this girl is going to need one of the bigger ones which I had allocated for Tessa. So it looks like Mum, and she's facing this way instead of that way. You know, very, very arboreal. So they say semi-arboreal, don't they? And she's just starting to not flinch. Hey. So, you know, I don't want to make her too short in the video, considering the whole procedure of the enclosures and everything. We're a good 12 minutes in, because I really want you to see her. She is one pretty little girl, but you know, they all are to me. None are better or more prettier than the others. And you know, this isn't about her being albino at all. This is about, I was so in love with Elune, and I think she is such a beautiful snake that it kind of was it for me when I was told, look, you can take my female, who I was going to keep, but it's okay. So I got the deal, you know, and she's very much welcome in my family. Are you not?
Not by everyone.
Not by everyone, because you've got enough, Mum. Stop. And I do agree, guys. Look, I don't disagree. You know, I put a lot of one-on-one in with my guys, and time can run very short when you have...
Nobody else gets acknowledged.
When you have this many snakes. Very time limited as to the time spending with them, and I like to spend a lot of time with them. It is just who I am, and she's going to get a lot of attention. She's going to be a big girl, and I always say, guys, you want a big snake, you need to put the time in with them when they're young. It is so important. You don't want to be dealing with a big snake that hasn't been socialized or bonding with you. Yes. So I often say to people who say, you know, I really want a big snake. Am I against people having big snakes? No, not at all. I highly recommend them. But that's a whole other video that I will do about big snakes. So, for today, that is my new girl Amaya. So let me know what you think. Also, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. But let me know, who would you like to see more of? And is there anything in particular you would like me to talk about? Because I'm more than happy to answer any questions, do a video on any subject that you would like me to do. So, we're going to say ciao, Missy Moo. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. And stay tuned for more videos and getting to know this little girl's personality and what she's going to be like which I can see already is she's as sweet as a button. So, and now my grandson is having his grizzle. So it is time to turn off the camera. So ciao guys. Bye.